Hello there, you're welcome back to Biology Video Lectures with Akirili Oladimiji Philip. It's my wonderful pleasure to have with me on the lecture. So we'll move on to the next topic on the organization, which is blood, still with the GCSE curriculum. Of course, GCSE curriculum, but it answers to anybody's knowledge in biology sincerely. Everything here is relevant in all biology curriculum. So the blood has different components. Usually when the blood is collected, it's not always like the way it is on the screen. It's always going to be just red all through. But when it is centrifuged, of course, with anticoagulant, of course, it then has these different layers. This upper layer, which is like the water or the fluid aspect of blood or non-cellular aspect of blood, is called plasma. That makes 55% of blood. Then the red blood cell, which is the erythrocyte, and the buffy coat, which is platelet and leukocyte. So this is the platelet, this is your white blood cell. Leukocyte, same thing as saying white blood cells, of course. All right, so let's dive into the main thing. So blood is a tissue in fluid form. Yes, why would I say that? Because blood contains white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets. And the definition of a tissue is two or more cells working together to perform a function. So these are different type of cells. So blood has, of course, the non-cellular component, which is plasma, which you saw earlier on, and cellular component, which is the white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets, of course. Then the blood, as it were, generally plays a very vital role in transferring food and substances around the whole body, and also transferring heat. Yes, that's what we are called homeotherms, which means our temperature is quite stable, and that's made easy because of blood transferring heat around our body. All right, so again, you can pause the video here, just showing you the different thing I told you. 55% is this the non-cellular component, and this is 1, 2, 3 forms the cellular component, which means they are cells. Basically, this red blood cell is the highest. Then we have, of course, white blood cells and the platelets. So you might want to pause the video to write some things down from here. All right. Now, this is also important, like I told you, the red blood cells. So the types of blood cells: red blood cells, otherwise called erythrocyte; white blood cells called leukocyte; then platelet. So as a quick overview, what does each of these blood cells perform? The red blood cell, of course, help to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide around the body. Then the white blood cells, of course, fight against infection. Because this is an A level, so we don't need to talk so much about each of these have different functions. For A levels, you will know that neutrophils and monocytes are phagocytes. Basically, that means they can actually engulf, basically. All right, but either way, just know that these are for fighting against infections, but they play the role in different ways. For example, the lymphocytes produces antibodies, which is the major thing that protects us, or of course that carries out what we call specific immunity. If you have seen my video on defense system, you get what I'm saying, of course. All right, then what's the function of platelets? For blood clotting. You're going to see that as the class goes on. When you see that when someone has a cut, it is the platelets that covers up and seal up that space, of course.